I am back again with you this afternoon. I have discovered something I had never knew. And all of this was going on in front of me during this time, but that just tells you how my life was so. I was doing so much in my life. I wasn't into all of the celebrities and their life and what they're doing. Like even with R. Kelly. I mean, I always when I heard a R. Kelly song, of course we know back in the days you hear a song on the radio, you be like, oh R. Kelly, like, hey, wow, I did not even know this. I did not even know this. And guess what? I have nieces around the same age with Ciara and other young people that came up, with me and everything that I actually used to observe and during their time, they growing up being teenagers, they favorite artist, they favorite icon, and Ciara was really hot in the new millennium. She was really, I mean, she was sexy, she was beautiful, she had all the moves, and something about her reminded me so much of Aaliyah. And I was like listening. I didn't get the right video to share with y'all today. And this is how I found this out. I didn't know back then, because I didn't know she was a Aaliyah follower. Like and that's what I found out about her. And when I watched the video and I lost the video, I wish I could find it. That she's sharing what happened to her while she's been out at the scene, while she's been behind the scene. Of course, we all know she was married to Future, her husband, and they had a child together. She had a family. So, of course, I know that also took away her time being, in the scene, on the scene and in music and everything. Maybe she'd been on one of these celebrity shows and people was able to keep up with her life and to find out whatever they could find out about her, where she's been. But I always thought she was great. I never heard in her music anything of using language that wasn't very clean. She always kept the clean, well, sexy, but she kept herself clean. When she worked on the Missy Elliott in her music, and I didn't know she worked under R. Kelly. I didn't know Ciara. Missy Elliott. She worked with Missy Elliott, and Missy Elliott is a female in the game, but Missy Elliott, she got skills, she got a mind of her own, she got things going for herself. She's doing wonderful. She's doing wonderful. Okay, Missy Elliott, I know that for a fact. Missy Elliott, she worked with so many other the female artists that's out there, that young ones coming up and everything, and she had brought something different to her electro. I think their music is more like an electro urban, kind of beat. It's not slow jams or love songs or anything. They stuff is about that urban electro music. It got a little bit of combination of R&B. I wouldn't even put them in this category of R&B. I'm sorry, rhythm and blues. They say rhythm and blues, but I wouldn't even think of the music and the style that Missy Elliott, Sierra, those type of girls. I don't even know if they can be in the category with R&B, because R&B is a little bit more on the quiet side of music. And it moves into things like jazz and the blues and stuff of that kind of nature, even into the gospel. But what you call it is like they really, there's a lot of noise, okay? With the Missy Elliott, they got a different sound. They music is electrifying, but it's more on, to me, electro beat sort of type music. Electro beat. Okay. So anyway, I didn't know she worked on this R. Kelly. She's an Aaliyah follower, sort of, kind of. And I could tell by her style that she was following Aaliyah's style coming up, and she had a lot of qualities about her, about Aaliyah. So I always wondered what happened to Sierra's career. And when I saw that video last night, and when she had to pull R. Kelly's name off of all her songs that she did with him and everything. Those songs, like they out here. I think one is called "If I Was a Boy" or something like that that she did and with R. Kelly. She did kind of quite a few songs with R. Kelly, and they pulled her away from R. Kelly because of the scandal that was going on around R. Kelly and being with around working with young people. And I was like, Ciara, that was a dumb move. If I would have known, I would have been like, Ciara, that's a dumb move because by being with R. Kelly, I think her career would have been more advanced and she would have been like, okay, because Ciara, she's gifted, she's talented, and she comes from a military family, so she would have been okay. She would have been okay, but they you see how this music industry controls you to think how to feel, how to like somebody, how not to like somebody. That's crazy. But anyway, politics plays its place in that. Well, this to me ain't even politics. This is just totally ignorance. They had to get Ciara out of the way, and she was supposed to be like um, competition, I guess, with like Rihanna. Get it? She was supposed to. They didn't want Rihanna. I mean, they didn't want Ciara to get the shine because they want to give it all to Rihanna. You see? Well, anyway, let's go.
I was like, I want to sing. I know this is what I want to do. I had already decided that's what I wanted to do. So literally, I was 16 years old. I took a sheet of paper. I wrote down 3 goals. My first goal was to get discovered. And my second goal was to sell 3 to 4 million records. And then my third goal was to have longevity. I was on my whole mission at that moment. Ciara in the early 2000s had one of the biggest starts for her career than a lot of her peers. With the help of Missy Elliott and Jazzy Faye for her debut album, she had all the right people in her corner that easily gave her the boost to have a successful career. When you think of the early 2000s girls becoming icons, it's Beyonce and it's Rihanna. Beyonce with her voice and curvaceous body, and Rihanna with her sexy appeal. But what about Ciara? Why doesn't she get as much recognition as the other girls if they all helped revolutionize different sounds in the 2000s? Why is she an afterthought when it comes to her contribution in music? It could have been many factors. Is it because she lost her public appeal? Lack of success from her albums? Her questionable dating choices from people like Bow Wow, 50 Cent, and Future? Or the fact that people thought she was a man? What exactly happened to the longevity in Ciara's career? Ciara began her career by auditioning for a group called Hearsay. The group recorded a few demos but eventually broke up due to creative differences. Feeling a need to keep advancing in her career, she decided to start out small by becoming a songwriter and signing a publishing deal. She wrote for people like Fantasia and Blue Cantrell, and as she started to write, it started opening up more doors for her as she was introduced to Jazzy Faye, the producer that would soon change her life. When it comes to music, working with a bunch of producers does broaden your range, but it really takes a special person that clicks with your sound and the type of music that you want to make, like Aaliyah and Timberland, Kanye West and Jay-Z, Babyface and Toni Braxton, and Ciara's magical pairing was Jazzy Faye. Jazzy was experimenting and wanted to push out a sound of a mixture of crunk and R&B, and Ciara walked into his life and turned out to be the perfect candidate. The success of 3 6 Mafia and Lil Jon opened the floodgates for the host of other southern hip-hop artists to parlay crunk into stardom. Atlanta generated most of these performers, including the Yin Yang Twins, Lil Jon, and Lil Scrappy. This new wave in hip-hop and R&B became a staple in sound as a lot of artists were trying to ride the wave, creating hit songs like Nuck If You Buck, Get Low, and none other than Goodies. Basically look at it as when the trap era that took off in the 2010s. With Jazzy introducing Ciara to L.A. Reid and signing a deal, they began working on Ciara's debut album, Goodies. The album was released in September of 2004 as it debuted at number 3 on the US Billboard 200, selling over 100,000 copies in its first week. The songs on the album were instant chart toppers, like the lead single Goodies, One Two Step and O, showed off her dance skills and delivered iconic dance breaks. The help of Missy Elliott, Jazzy, and Ludacris and Lil Jon helped propel Ciara as the princess of crunk, and the intensity of her dance moves made her stand out as the breakout star.
Yeah, she kept a very, to me at the time and everything for the young teenagers and stuff like that, like teenagers that like to dance, and her music is good, definitely good for workouts and like step one, one, two step. She has a different taste, a different style. Like I said, they wanted to compete. They knocked her out the box, okay? Because of course Ciara would have knocked them out the box if she would have been the one there. So they had to pull her off her, like not promoting her music much and not letting her get too much shine and managing her, just so Brianna, Jay Z, he want to make sure Brianna gonna be the one. And as far for Rihanna, just in case it wasn't gonna be Beyonce, then here comes Rihanna. You know, the next queen up. The next queen up. Okay, so they had to push her to the background, and they had to put Rihanna in her place. And I think Ciara is a whole lot better. Her vocals, her style and dancing, her everything is better than Rihanna to me. I think she's more prettier too. She's more sex appeal. She has a whole lot more sex appeal than Rihanna. But I guess they didn't want her to come with a style like Aaliyah. You know what I'm saying? That was probably another thing it could have been because her style was more like she was a Aaliyah follower. Like that was Aaliyah's style. Aaliyah used to have that type of move to her when she was dancing and kind of like in that little tomboyish look, sexy tomboy. That's that was Aaliyah's style. And Missy Elliott, she had a roughness to her look too, but she also Missy Elliott can dance her butt off, and Missy Elliott she knows how to put. She was more like in the background too. She writes, she produces. Because I know she worked with also what's her name again? Tweet with Tweet. Yep, that's all the team that the girls on that side. That's they style. So they music. But I'm sorry it didn't work out for Ciara, but she's happy, she's blessed. She has a husband. She had a husband. I don't know if she remarried again because I'm not gonna stay long because I'm kind of low on my battery. But I know she's being a great mom. She enjoyed being a mom now, and she was married. Her marriage failed, but they worked it out, and I guess they both co-parenting. So that kind of worked about in her life. But I don't know if she remarried or she in a relationship right now or whatever. She just gonna just dedicate her life to in what she's busy with as far as with her career and with her with her son. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with y'all today. So this afternoon, I might come back again later with some more if I come across anything more. I just wanted to share some stuff about Ciara.
While being able to separate herself from the likes of Ashanti, Nivea, and Beyonce. By this time, Ciara was doing amazing in her career as she was the people's favorites, including rapper Bow Wow. Bow Wow and Ciara were a cute couple who dated for 2 years and were engaged, Bow Wow being the megastar he was at the time with multiple platinum records, hit songs, and movies. And with Ciara's new stardom, their couple status makes sense. They even collaborated for their hit song Like You. They broke up in 2006, but it helped Ciara stay on the radar as the people's princess. Being nominated for 4 Grammys for her debut album, everybody was excited to see what Ciara had in store for her next project. But with the rise of the internet, it didn't come without its own runaround in the rumor mill. Although Ciara had an amazing debut, forums and chat rooms started taking off, and somehow there was rumors spreading that Ciara used to be a man or that she was a hermaphrodite. The rumor plagued Ciara's career because it was the beginning of the internet. People came up with their own theories and clues on how and what made Ciara a man. People believed that when she was born, she had both genitalias and her parents decided on her being a girl. Or when she was 5 or 11, either ages, she decided she wanted to be a girl and change sexes. And what added on to the rumors was the fact that people claimed that they saw Ciara on a segment of Oprah where she openly talked about her sex change. But since the internet was still fairly new, you couldn't just pull back a clip and show it as evidence. So it was a bunch of he said, she said with no clarification on where the rumor actually came from.
That was never true. I don't know. I heard the rumors about Ciara too when I was coming up, but I never believed it because it was just something about her that didn't show no kind of masculinity, but her dancing was kind of like on a tomboy like kind of move, but it was sexy tomboy, sexy sort of. Nothing about her is people just do anything to tear somebody down. I know they put that out about her because they didn't like her because she was pretty, and she was gonna get in the spotlight. I mean, take away they spotlight. Okay,
from. But obviously, the Oprah segment never really happened. People just made that up and ran with it. A lot of people poked fun at her physical features because Ciara is relatively tall. She was 5'8" when she debuted. She was either taller or just as tall as her male or female counterparts and had a fit physique to match. But Ciara has always been active when she was a teenager. She was a cheerleader and a dancer, as you can see from her music videos. She continues to work and tone her body, and she was still fairly young, not too far from her high school days when she entered the industry. She was only 19 years old, so her body type was still relatively to her high school body. So from her legs to her arm, they were toned and muscular, but in a feminine way. But people use that as evidence to say that her being a bit muscular was proof. But don't also forget that the early 2000s was plagued with a lot of video vixens. All the girls were voluptuous and were packing ass. And if they were petite, they still had some curves to them. Ciara has a great body, but she's not curvaceous. She didn't have big boobs or the butt. So her being different from her counterparts based on her body played into those rumors. Social media wasn't around for her to just clear it up on the spot, so eventually she had to address it on a few platforms to clear her name. Say none of them bother me, but I'll just do it just to do it because whatever. There's one thing about me being a man or something like that before I was, or something when I was born, I got a change. Really? A hermaphrodite or something like that. Okay. And they said that I went on Oprah and did it. And I'm like, okay, come on now. You know, if I was on Oprah, like, I mean, it takes a while before that happens for somebody going to Oprah. You know what I mean? Like, that's really big. So we know that didn't happen. If you can find it, though, I'll give you $100,000 and fly you around the world and do everything for you. If you can find that tape and play it for me. In 2006, Ciara's second album, The Evolution, was released, becoming her first #1 album. Selling over 300K copies its first week, Ciara describing the album as
I always thought they was trying to push her up on I'm sorry, I always thought they was going to try to push her up on Usher. But anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Love you.